Tehran taught the deal-maker a lesson in political realism. Welcome to reality. That is how Jen Psaki begins her critique. Not an ordinary critique, but a complete dismantling of an image built over years. A president who entered the confrontation like a lion,
because that's what they're doing. They're really blackmailing the world. We're not gonna
pushing
let that happen.
expectations to their absolute limit, and then emerging from it, searching for an exit. Not victory, but an exit. Iran did not just break the blockade, it broke something deeper. It shattered the assumption that power alone is enough. It dismantled the narrative that maximum pressure always leads to surrender. When Trump's rhetoric collided with a complex geopolitical reality, the truth became clear. The world is not a real estate deal, and it cannot be negotiated through the logic of buying and selling. This was a lesson, an expensive lesson. Its cost was not just measured in billions of dollars, but in blood, in prestige, and in credibility. The question now being asked with growing urgency: did Trump lose his standing to Tehran? Psaki answers directly. He was brought down from his imagined throne in a way he never anticipated. Analytical reports emerging from Washington and New York highlight a critical turning point. Iran did not confront the United States with direct force alone. It used what can be described as strategic attrition. It did not seek a rapid victory. It sought to exhaust its opponent, to raise the cost, to make every day of conflict a growing burden. And that is exactly what happened. Over time, the equation began to shift. Trump, who rejected any concessions at the start of April, began accepting what he had previously refused entirely. And here lies the paradox. The deal-maker accepted terms that made the 2015 agreement appear far stronger by comparison. Reports from Bloomberg and the Financial Times indicate that some of the concessions accepted were never part of the original calculations. Partial lifting of sanctions, reduced economic pressure, acceptance of Iran's regional influence as a reality. This is not a negotiating victory. It is a calculated retreat. The Iranian lesson was clear. Military power alone is not enough, especially when facing an adversary that is not seeking a quick win, but a prolonged endurance. The naval blockade, which was intended as a pressure tool, became a burden. It did not open the strait, it partially closed it. It did not only pressure Iran, it pressured the global economy. And that is where the real problem began. Because the pressure reversed direction. Oil prices rose, markets destabilized, and the American economy began to feel the impact. Trump, who had dismissed diplomacy for years, found himself returning to it, not from a position of strength, but from a position of necessity. Reports pointed to mediation efforts, back-channel communications, attempts to find an exit, and that in itself represents a shift, because previous rhetoric rejected any form of mediation. Psaki mocks the claims of victory. If this is victory, what would defeat look like? The question is not merely sarcastic, it is analytical, because the data tells a very different story than the rhetoric. Allies noticed the shift, adversaries noticed the shift, markets noticed the shift. Every red line that had been drawn began to fade, not because of direct military pressure, but because of economic and political strain. Wall Street became a decisive factor. Every market fluctuation translated into pressure within the administration. And here, the true dimension of the crisis emerges. The war was not only in the Gulf, it was also in the economy. Psaki highlights a critical insight. Iran did not tremble before bombers. It waited. It waited until internal pressure began to build in Washington, and that is when the equation shifted. The retreat was not a single moment. It was a turning point. A clear message was sent to the world. American threats have limits. China saw it. Russia saw it. Other nations saw it. And that changes calculations, because deterrence depends on credibility, and when credibility declines, the balance shifts. The compromises that were accepted will shape foreign policy for years because they create precedents and impose new constraints. Trump's base has also begun to feel the shift. Media reports indicate confusion. Supporters who once believed in a strong leader are now seeing a different image, a leader who retreats, a leader who accepts what he once rejected, and that creates a gap. The failure to achieve total surrender was a major blow to the America First narrative, because that narrative depends on control, but reality revealed the limits of that control. The real cost was the acknowledgement of limited power, and that is a difficult admission, especially for a leader who built his image on the opposite idea. Reports from CNN and Axios reveal further details. The shift did not happen overnight. It was the result of accumulation. National security meetings, Pentagon assessments, Treasury warnings, all pointed to the same conclusion. Continuing the same approach would lead to greater losses. The economy was the key pressure point. Markets do not tolerate uncertainty, and the blockade created a sustained state of tension. Companies began reassessing risks, investors began pulling back, and this influenced political decisions. In the end, the choice was made to exit with minimal losses. But that does not mean there were no losses. It means acknowledging them. The retreat did not only affect foreign policy, it impacted domestic politics. Voters began to see direct consequences: fuel prices, cost of living, inflation, all tied to the crisis. And this turns foreign policy into a domestic issue, which is the most dangerous shift for any administration. April 2026 may be recorded as a defining moment, not just because of the war, but because of what it revealed. It revealed the limits of power. It exposed the limits of rhetoric and showed that spectacle is not enough. History will not say that Iran defeated the United States militarily. It will say something more precise, that it defeated the mindset of arrogance that led to this outcome. The lesson in compromise was harsh, but necessary, because the alternative was worse. Saki concludes with clarity. When you bet everything on your ego, the fall is inevitable. The question now is, did Trump learn the lesson, or will he repeat the pattern? Tomorrow, he may once again claim to be a negotiation genius, but the world has already seen the truth. It saw the retreat, it saw the concessions, and it saw the scar.